We're gonna do problems on inverse. We did inverse function, what is inverse function, but today we're gonna do problems on inverse. Let's start here. So if the problem says determine whether theta is equal to pi by 4 is a solution of the equation 2 sine theta minus 1 is equal to 0. They want you to check if theta is equal to pi by 4 is a solution of this equation or not. How can you check that? How can you check that is what you're going to do wherever you see theta in the equation here. So you have 2 sine theta is equal minus 1 is equal to 0. This was the equation. They want you to check if pi by 4 is a solution of this or no. How do you check is put this pi by 4 in the equation. Your left hand side and right hand side should come out to be equal. Let's put it. So you get 2 sine pi by 4 minus is equal to 0. Let's see what is sine pi by 4. Eduardo. Eduardo? I cannot hear you, Eduardo. Hello? Yeah, okay. What's the value of sine pi by 4?
Wouldn't that be 0? No, 1.
See, where is pi by 4? Where do you see pi?
It's root 2 over 2, sorry.
Yeah, here it's pi by 4 and the y value is your sine value. X is your cos, y is your sine. So you get root 2 over 2.
2 over 2.
Yes, so it gets root 2 over 2 minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, then when you multiply this and this cancels, you are left with root 2 minus 1 is equal to 0. This is not true. Is my left hand side and my right hand side, they are equal to each other? No, they are not equal to each other. It is false. Therefore, theta is equal to pi by 4 is not a solution. So you have to make your left hand side and right hand side equal. We don't know they're equal or no. We don't know this. We are trying to prove it equal to each other. You put the value and check if they're equal or not. I want everyone to check for theta is equal to pi over 6. For the same equation, check whether this thing is a solution of this thing or not. Check this. If you have questions, please ask me right now. Karen, can you help me with this one?
Is sine is 1 over 2.
Sine pi by 6 is 1 over 2, you are saying, right?
Yeah.
What is
yes,
2
it's
times?
correct.
It's correct, yes. So you get this cancel, you're left with 1 minus 1. You get 0 equal to 0, which is true. Good. Okay. Therefore, you can say pi over 6 is a solution. Any questions so far, anyone, with these two problems we did right now? You just plug in and check whether your left hand side and right hand side is equal to each other or not. Okay. So the next kind of problem you will get is, it says solve the equation cosine theta is equal to 1/2. It says give the general formula for all the solutions, and it says list 8 of the solutions. So the question says you're given cosine theta is equal to 1/2. They want you to find the general solution and list at least 8 of the solutions. Okay. Okay, cosine theta you're given as 1/2. Okay. So can I have, let's see, Shaira? Is Shaira here?
Yes.
Shaira, okay. Can you tell me, Shaira, cosine theta is equal to 1/2. Where is cosine 1/2?
Pi over 3.
Okay, you're saying theta is equal to pi over 3. Is there any other value?
Oh, sorry, there's something going on in my life.
That's okay. Cosine is, okay, Shaira, cosine is positive in which quadrants?
1 and 4.
1 and 4. So you will get two answers. Since 1/2 is positive, you will get two answers. One in this quadrant and one in this quadrant. Since it's positive. Okay. In this quadrant, you said it is pi by 3, right?
Yes. Sorry.
In this quadrant, what is it?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Something going on with my laptop, sorry.
It's okay. In this quadrant, what is it?
4. Oh, wait. Oh, the value?
1/2.
Yes. 5 pi over 3.
Exactly. 5 pi over 3. Note, since my cosine theta was positive, I know my answer will be in two quadrants. First quadrant and fourth quadrant. So I got my two answers here. But note, for in case of cosine, the general formula is, it is these two answers. But remember, if I add 2 pi, okay, this was my answer. If I add 2 pi, if I make a whole circle and come back again this will be the answer. If I make the second circle and come back again, this again will be my answer. So basically, for cosine and sine, you add 2k pi for general formula. 2k pi you add for general formula, where k is an integer. So always whenever you're finding general formula for cosine, first you find the angles for which it gives you 1/2, and then you add 2k pi. So note, the question asks you general formula for all the solutions. You got the general formula. These two are the answers for the general formula. But the next part says list 8 of the solutions. They want 8 of the solutions. Okay, let's put k as -1. You'll get 2 there, 0, 1, and I put k as 2.
What if it's telling us to find 8 solutions? Wouldn't we be like repeating the same like number twice, like pi over 3? We have to go 360.
So but then
answer.
you're adding 360 in it again. Are you getting it? This is 60, right? 60 plus 360.
Yeah.
So it's like each time you're adding like 2 pi, 360 degrees. Okay, let's put these values here. Let's put these values here and find the value of theta here. You get theta is equal to pi by 3. If I put k as -1, it becomes -2 pi. Okay, when you solve, it becomes, you have to make common denominator. So you multiply by 3 and divide by 3. So you get -5 pi over 3. Similarly, put for here also theta is -1. So you get -2 pi. Again, make common denominator. You get basically -pi over 3. When you will put 0, these terms will become 0. So your theta will be just pi over 3 and theta will be 5 pi over 3. Let's put 1. When you put 1, you get pi over 3 plus 2 pi. Divide by 3, multiply by 3. You get 7 pi over 3. Theta is equal to 7 pi over 3. For this, you get 5 pi over 3 plus 2 pi. Multiply by 3, divide by 3, you get 11 pi over 3. When you put 2, you get pi over 3 plus 4 pi now. So you divide by 3, multiply by 3, you get 13 pi over 3. And here when you get 5 pi over 3 plus 4 pi, divide by 3, multiply by 3, you get...
Oh, sorry. For the K's, did you just pick them or were you like
I just picked them myself. I chose -1, 0, 1, 2. I chose one negative number and other 0, 1, 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
up to you how you choose it, yes. It can be any integer. Any problem, anyone, how to do this? It is very easy. These problems are very easy problems. It's not tough. It's just you need to know how to solve it. Anyone has, first of all, any problem how I got these things? If I'm going too fast, please let me know. I can go slower also. Let's do one more problem here. So the question says, solve the equation 2 sine theta plus root 3 is equal to 0. They want you to solve this now. So basically by solving, they mean you have to find the value of theta. You need to find the value of this theta by solving it. Also, they put a restriction that my theta should be between 0 and 2 pi. I don't want more than that. I just want my answer to be between 0 and 2 pi. So my equation is this thing. So basically I need to find the value of sine theta. Okay. So what I need is I'll keep sine theta on one side. I'll take everything else on the other side. I subtract root 3. I get 2 sine theta is equal to negative root 3. Then you divide it by 2. You get sine theta is equal to negative root 3 over 2. Samantha?
Yes.
Okay. This is my unit circle here. Okay, sine is negative. In which quadrants is my sine negative?
On the third quadrant
Yes, and
fourth.
yes, all students take calculus, so third and fourth quadrant they are negative. So I will get my answer in this quadrant and this quadrant. What are the two values, you tell me, where it is negative 3 over 2, negative square root of 3 over 2?
Negative 3 over 2, it would be 7 pi over 6.
You're saying 7 pi?
7 pi over 6.
Okay, let me check here.
Oh, no. It's 4 pi over 3.
4 pi over 3, yes. So you're getting one answer as theta is equal to 4 pi over 3. And what's the next one?
5 pi over 3.
You're saying 5 pi over 3. That's correct. Good. So you got these two values. You're like, why am I not adding 2k pi in this case? The reason I'm not adding 2k pi in this case is because I just want in 0 to 2 pi only. I don't want to make a circle again. From 0 to pi, these are the only two values. If it said 0 to 4 pi, I will add 2 pi, which means 360 again to both of them. But since they're asking for just 0 to 2 pi, this will be my answer. So basically your answer is 4 pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. Just because they're asking you, they're putting a condition to 0 to 2 pi only. Anyone has any question why in the previous example I added 2k pi and in this example I'm not adding 2k pi? Because of this condition, specifically because of this condition here. They just want your answer from 0 to 2 pi only. Okay, let's do one more problem. It says solve the equation sine 2 theta is equal to 1/2, and then you have 0 less than equal to theta less than 2. Okay. Angel, is Angel here? Angel is not here. Okay. Christopher?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, Christopher. So I need to find sine of 2 theta is equal to 1/2. So since here I have 2 theta, so my 2 theta will be equal to what? For which values my, okay, sine positive, which quadrants?
Where theta is 1/2.
Yes, 2 theta is 1/2. Sine of 2 theta is 1/2. For what sine values is it 1/2?
It's pi over 6
And
5 pi over 6.
okay, correct. So you are
Quadrant 1
saying,
and quadrant 2.
so you are saying for pi over 6, note now it was 2 theta. So I'll put 2 theta is equal to pi over 6 and 2 theta is equal to 5 pi over 6. I got these two values. Mika, can you close this? So you got these two values here.
Mhm.
But now in this case, whenever, if I had theta here, just sine theta is equal to 1/2 and they are putting just 0 to 2 pi, this would be my answer, pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6. But in this case, since I don't have a normal theta, I have 2 times theta. So in this case, something will change. So what you're gonna do is, you will add again 2k pi on both sides. You will add 2k pi on both sides where k is any integer. In previous example, I did not add 2k pi in my here, in my answer is, the reason is because of the condition 0 is less than theta is less than 2 pi. And theta was just basically just theta. When you have something special like 2 theta or theta plus 5 by 3, something like that, then you need to add 2k pi where k is any integer. Next thing what you're gonna do is, again put k is equal to 0 put k as -1, put k as 1 and put k as 2 and find the values. Okay, when I put here 0, I basically get my so let's solve first. Let's solve here. I just need theta. So it becomes theta is equal to, I divide everything by 2. I divide this also by 2. I divide this also by 2. I get pi over 12 plus k pi. When I solve this for theta, I divide this by 2. I divide this by 2. I divide this by 2. I get theta is equal to 5 pi over 12 plus k pi. I get these things. So first you solve for theta. Once I solve for theta, now I'm going to put 0. When I put 0 here, I just get theta is equal to pi by 12. Theta is equal to 5 pi over 12. Let's put -1. -1 if I will put, I will get -1. So you get theta is equal to pi by 12 minus pi, which is -11 pi over 12. In other example, you have 5 pi over 12 minus pi. It becomes 7 pi over 12, -7 pi over 12. Let's put 1. You get pi over 12 plus pi, which is 13 pi over 12. In the next one, you put pi, 5 pi over 12 plus pi, 17 pi over 12. Let's put 2. You get pi over 12 plus 2 pi. You get 25 pi over 12. Then you have 5 pi over 12 plus 2 pi. 29 pi over 12. Solve this is just solving the values. You're just solving. Put k as 0, -1, 1 and 2. So I'm basically getting these, and this as my solution.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
If it says from 0 to 2 pi, does the 25 pi over 12 not count? Because that's
Exactly.
over 2 pi.
Yes, this is not the final answer. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to talk about that. Yes, you're correct. Now, since my condition was 0 to 2 pi, since I'm talking about 0 to 2 pi, in all these values, I want to check what belongs to 0 to 2 pi. What belongs to 0 to 2 pi? Joshua? Is Joshua here? Gerald is not here. And Mondai? And Mondai? She's not here either. Okay. Daniel?
I'm here.
Okay, Daniel. So in this case, let's see. Pi by 12. Does pi by 12 belong to 0 to 2 pi?
Yes.
Okay, so one is my answer is pi by 12. 5 pi by 12, does it belong?
I believe so.
Okay, what is 5 pi by 12? So 0 to 2 pi means 0 to 360. 5 pi by 12 convert into degrees and tell me what is it.
It will be.
So basically you multiply by 180 over pi. See what you get.
Give me a sec.
Do you get an answer?
It will be 75
Okay. So how?
degrees.
Yeah. One other way of checking, Daniel, you know how to check is leave pi. Just divide 5 by 12. What is 5 divided by 12?
It will be like 0.4.
Something, right? 0.4 something.
Oh yeah.
Right? Does it belong between 0 and 2 pi? 0.4 pi. Does 0.4 pi belongs 0 to 2 pi? Yes, it is less than 2,
Mhm.
right? So it will belong. So 5 pi by 12 will belong here. Okay. What about negative 11 by 12? Note these are negative, right? I just want
Yeah.
between 0 and 2 pi, so these two are not my final answer. Let's check 13 pi by 12. What is 13 divided by 12?
It will be 1 point
Something. And
something.
it will it be between 0 and 2 pi? Will it be between 0 and 2? 1 point something will be
Yeah.
between. So this thing will be between. Okay. What about 17 pi by 12?
17. It will. It's saying like 1 point something. So it's yes. It's
It's
between.
exactly. Okay. What about 25 pi by 12?
It's 25 over 2. Pi over 12. You said
Yes, 25 pi over 12.
it's not going to be. It's past 2 pi.
It's past 2 pi, so this is not my answer. What about 29 pi by 12?
It's the same. It's past.
Exactly, it's past. So only these 4 is my final answer. I again repeat, when you are just finding, note the difference between the two problems we did before. There is a difference. There's a minor difference between these two problems. The difference is, in the first problem, you were just finding sine theta. It was just sine theta, not sine 2 theta or sine theta plus pi by 3. It was just sine theta. When it is like this, you find your answer, that is you, and if it's given like this 0 to 2 pi, you don't have to add 2k pi in that case. But when your theta is a special kind of theta here, like you have 2 theta here, then once you found your answer, you have to add 2k pi. Solve for theta and put different values of k, you will get more than 2 answers. And check what belongs to 0 to 2 pi.
Is my lab, whatever, gonna specify how many answers and solutions you want?
Yes. They will specify, and they will also specify if they give this kind of domain, you have to figure out yourself how many will be the answers. They won't tell you, oh, if it's this domain, you will have 2 answers. They will not say like that. You just have to figure it out. Like we figured it out that we will get 4 answers we will have 4 as my final answers. These 4 as my final answer. You have to figure out yourself. But they will tell you which case to put, k as -1, 1, which case they want. That they will specify. Okay. Let's do one more example. You have tangent theta minus pi over 2 as 1. And again they want their theta value between 0 and 2 pi. They want their values between 0 and 2 pi. And one die here? No. Jose,
Yeah,
can you tell me how to solve this?
one moment. Are you just looking for the theta where it
Theta minus pi by 2 is equal to what? Where is tan of angle is equal to 1? Where is tangent 1? Okay, tangent is positive in which quadrants, Jose?
I would say in between at the top,
Between first and which one?
2.
All students take calculus, so which positive? Tangent.
Oh, the first,
And
the one on 0.
Yeah, so you're saying all students take calculus. So which will be?
4.
T is here, right?
No, 3.
3. It is first and 3. Here all are positive. Here only sine is positive. Here only tangent is positive. Here only cosine is positive. So I know it is my answer is in first and third quadrant. Okay. Where is it 1? Tangent. How do you find tangent value?
Y over x.
Y over x. So basically they should be exactly the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, this is definitely my answer, 45, which is
Sure.
pi by 4.
Your pi over 4
And what's my next one?
would be your 5 pi over 4.
Exactly, yes. 5 pi over 4. Now here I did not have just I did not have just tangent theta. If I had tangent theta and this condition was given, my answer would be pi by 4 and pi by over 4. But I have something as negative pi over 2 also with it. There's something extra to the angle. There's something extra to the angle. So in this case, I again repeat, in case of cosine theta, sine theta, okay, general formula is theta plus 2k pi, where k is an integer. But in case of tangent theta, the general formula is theta plus pi, k pi, where k is any integer. So you have to make this note to yourself. So basically, if they're asking you the general formula for sine and cosine, you always add 2k pi. But in case of tangent, you add k pi only, not 2k pi. So if I have to find general formula in this case, I will add just k pi, not 2k pi, where k is any integer. Before plugging in the values, I need to solve for theta here. So what I will do, I had theta minus pi over 2 as pi over 4 plus k pi. I just need theta. Pi by 2 is subtracting, I add pi by 2 both sides. I get theta is equal to pi over 4 plus pi over 2 plus k pi. How do you add? Multiply by 2 divided by 2. It becomes 3 pi over 4 plus k pi. Similarly, in the second one, you had theta minus pi over 2 is equal to 5 pi by 4 plus k pi. I'm just trying to find the value of theta. So you add pi by 2 both sides. You get theta is equal to 5 pi by 4 plus pi by 2 plus k pi. Multiply by 2, divide by 2, you get 7 pi by 4 plus k pi. But we are not done. They want between 0 to 2 pi. So let's put different values. Let's put k as negative 1. Let's put k as 0. Let's put k as 1. And let's put k as 2. Put these values. Okay. Let's put as negative 1. So you get theta as, let's see here. So you put as k as negative 1. Let's put as negative 1. Let's see here. So you had theta is equal to 3 pi over 4 plus k pi. This is what you got. Put here negative 1. You get 3 pi over 4 negative pi. How do you subtract? Common denominator. Multiply by 4 divided by 4. You get negative pi over 4. So I get my one answer as negative pi over 4. Let's put in the other one here, negative pi. You get theta is equal to 7 pi over 4 negative pi. Again, make common denominator. You get negative pi over, 3 pi over 4. You get 3 pi over 4. Yes. So you get 3 pi over 4. Theta is equal to 3 pi over 4. Then let's put 0. 0 if you put, you are going to get the same answer. 3 pi over 4 and 7 pi over 4. Let's put k as 1. In the first, if you put 1, you get 3 pi over 4 plus pi. Multiply by 4, divide by 4, you get 7 pi over 4. So you get 7 pi over 4. In the other one, you had 7 pi over 4 plus pi. Divide by 4, multiply by 4, you get 11 pi over 4. Okay, let's put k as 2 now. So you get theta as 3 pi over 4 plus 2 pi. It becomes 2 pi. It becomes multiply by 4, divide by 4. You get 11 pi over 4. Similarly, here you do 7 pi over 4 plus 2 pi, multiply by 4, divide by 4. You get 15 pi over 4. So you get 11 pi by 4 and 15 pi by 4. Any questions so far what I did here? So Jose, in this case, can you tell me what's my final answer? Let's see here. Negative pi by 4.
Can I see your restriction real quick?
Yeah. A restriction is 0 to 0 less than equal to theta less than equal to 2 pi. So I need between 0 and 2
okay.
pi. Okay. Let's see negative pi by 4. Does negative pi by 4 belongs to 0 to 2 pi?
It's under.
Yeah, it's under, so I don't want that. 3 pi by 4.
That's good.
Okay, that's good. What about 3 pi by 4 you said is good? 7 pi by 4.
That's good.
That's good. 7 pi by 4.
The 11 pi by 4 is over, and so is the 15
Exactly.
pi over 4.
So you have basically two answers only. 3 pi by 4 and 7 pi by 4. So your final answer is 3 pi by 4 and 7 pi by 4. These are your final answers.
I have one more thing. If we were solving for cotangent, would we similarly add k pi only for that?
Yes.
Is it because it's kind of the same as the periodic properties or whatever?
You know why is it? See here. Tangent is positive in this quadrant and this quadrant, right? Right?
Yeah.
So if I add pi, where will I, if in this angle I add pi, where will I go? Here.
Oh, just like a 180.
Yeah, just like 180. So that's why we are adding 180 in this case.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, but in case of that thing, it has to be the whole circle, sine and cosine.
There, makes sense.
Yeah. Any other questions, anyone with this thing? Okay, try these problems yourself. One, if you got this, let me see, there is, okay, there is more problems. Okay, first, before I go further, try to solve these. So you need between 0 less than equal to theta less than 2 pi. You need all your answers between this thing. First, you are given a as you are given 2 sine theta plus 1 is equal to 0. Do this problem. B, you will do these 3 problems. If you got this right now by yourself, so far whatever we did, you understood this problem. Try these two. You want your answer, final answer between 0 and 2 pi. Axel,
Yes.
so how do you think you're going to solve the first one?
We're in a fourth quadrant, no? Sine.
So you're given 2 sine theta plus 1 is equal to 0. So your first step will be what?
One more time.
So you're given this thing, 2 sine theta plus 1 is equal to 0.
Yeah.
What's your first thing to do?
Move one to the other side. That's
Yeah.
negative one.
Exactly. So what do you get?
2 sine theta is equal to negative one.
Sine theta is equal to
Negative one.
negative 1.
Yes.
Just negative 1 sine theta. So you subtract 1 both sides. You get 2 sine theta is equal to negative 1, right?
Yes.
So sine theta will be equal to
2 negative one. And then you divided the 2, no?
yes. So negative 1 over 2. Okay. Negative. Sine is negative in which quadrants?
The second and fourth.
Okay. All students take calculus. Sine negative. Here everything is positive. S means
Oh, fourth. Fourth, the third or fourth quadrant.
third and fourth quadrant. You need negative 1/2, right?
Yes.
In third and fourth quadrant. So I'm just going to look at these two quadrants. You tell me where it is negative 1/2.
210 degrees. Oh, wait, radians or degrees?
Radians.
Okay, 7 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6.
You are saying 7 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6, you're saying, right? Okay. So, Axel, one more thing is, you're given here sine theta, okay? It is sine theta.
Yeah.
Just a second. I don't know what happened. Why it's just... Okay. So, you have sine theta. In this case, they are saying they want answer between 0 and 2 pi. Okay. Will I add 2k pi in both sides or no?
You say that again?
So what happened is, there is sine theta only, right? It is not sine 2 theta or it's not sine theta plus pi by 4, right?
Yes.
And they are asking you answer between 0 and 2 pi. Okay. They want their
Yes.
final answer between only in this 0 to 2 pi. Okay.
Yeah.
These are the only two answers, so I will add 2k pi both sides.
Those are the only two.
Yes, these are the only two answers. Correct. In case I had theta plus something, then I will add 2k pi. But since I don't have theta plus something, these are two are my final answer. Good answer. Nikhil, can you close this also? There's light coming here. See here on the sheet.
I think you muted yourself.
Jalina? Is Jalina here?
Well,
Yeah. Jalina, so let's do the second problem. You're given sine of 3 theta is equal to negative 1. I'm going to do this problem here.
okay.
Can you tell me
So,
what do you get?
having trouble doing this one.
It's okay. Let's guess. What do you think it is? since here I have sine of 3 theta, right?
Okay.
I will get 3 theta is equal to something,
Okay.
not theta. Now negative 1. Which quadrants is sine negative?
Sine is negative in quadrants 3 and 4.
3 and 4. So you are looking for sine as negative 1. You tell me, where do you see negative 1 in 3 and 4?
Negative 1 is at 270.
You are saying at 270. Oh yes, it is at 270. Okay. So yes, which is basically 270 if you
3
convert
pi over 3.
3 pi over 2. Is there any other place you see sine as negative? No, right?
No.
So this is my only answer. But note here, it was not theta. If it was just theta and I was given a condition 0 less than equal to theta less than equal to 2 pi, my answer was 3 pi by 2 and I'm done. But in this case, I have 3 theta, right? I have 3
Yeah.
theta. And in case of sine, what do I add?
Have to add 2k pi.
Yes, in case of sine and cosine, I add 2k pi. In case of tangent, I just add k pi, where k is any integer. Let's choose different k values. I choose k as negative 1. I choose k as 0. I choose k as 1 and I choose k as 2. Okay. Before putting these values, can you tell me what is theta? I don't want 3 theta now. I just want theta. What is theta? How do you-
Theta is
Mhm.
six. It's 2k. Six plus 6k pi.
What is it?
Would it be 3 pi over 6 plus 6k pi over 3?
See here. I had 3 theta, right? I just need theta. So what I'm gonna do? Divide everything by 3, right?
Yes.
I divide this by 3 also. I divide this by 3 also. I divide this by 3 also. What do you get? Theta is equal to,
3 pi over 6
Which
plus
is?
2k pi over
yes, 3 pi over 6 is what? Simplify.
pi over 6.
So you had 3 pi over 2 times 3, right?
Yes. Pi over 3.
Yes, pi over 2, pi over 2.
Pi over
Because
2.
3 and 3 cancels, right?
Yes.
And then you get 2k pi over 3. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now let's put negative 1. Put negative 1 and tell me what do you get. K as negative 1.
Two, four. You get pi over 2 minus 2 pi over 3.
Yes. Pi over 2 minus 2 pi over 3. What do you get?
negative pi
over
over six.
yes, exactly, yes. If you put 0 here, what happens? K as 0.
Would it just be pi over 6?
Pi over 2, pi over 2. When you put here 0, because this goes away, right? Anything multiplied by 0 is 0. So you're
Yes.
left with just pi over 2. When you put k as 1, what do you get? Theta is equal to pi over 2 plus k as 1.
It's
It's 2 pi over 3.
2 pi over 3.
Yes. When solve and tell me what you get.
3 pi over 6.
7 pi over 6. Okay. Let's put 2. What do you get? Pi over 2 plus
2. Would it be 4 pi over 3?
3. Yes. When you solve, what you get?
Five pi over 6?
No. How do you do it? Is see here. Cross multiply and then multiply these two. Cross multiply. What do you get? 3 pi, right? And this you multiply. What do you get? What is 2 times 4 pi?
8 pi?
8 pi divided by, and you multiply these two like this, you get 6, which is 11 pi over 6. That's how you multiply. Okay, cross multiply and then multiply the denominators like this,
Okay.
so you get 11 pi over 6. But you're still not done, Jelena. Here they want between 0 and 2 pi. Okay, is negative pi by 6 between 0 and 2 pi? It's a negative number, right? Are you getting it, Jelena, or no? Jelena? She blocked. Carly?
Hello?
Yeah, Jelena. Can you tell me negative pi by 6, does it belong to 0 to 2 pi?
No, because it would be under 0.
Exactly. What about pi by 2? So
Yes.
this is one of my answers. What about 7 pi by 6?
Yes, it would.
Okay, what about 11 pi by 6?
No, because
What is 11 divided by 6? You again block. I cannot hear you, Jelena. Guys, 11 pi by 6 will also be an answer, since 11 divided by 6 is 1 point something, which is less than 2. So these three are your answers. So your final answer will be pi by 2, 7 pi by 6 and 11 pi by 6. These three are your answers. Any questions, anyone with these kind of problems? Okay, next thing is, next kind of problems you will be given is, it says solve the equation. You have to solve the equation 2 sine squared theta minus 3 sine theta plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, and you are again given a condition that angle should be between 0 and 2 pi. You're given angle between 0 and 2 pi. In this case, so now you have to solve this whole thing. 2 sine squared theta minus 3 sine theta plus 1 is equal to 0. Note, in this thing, this formula looks like a quadratic function. This thing looks like a quadratic function. You're like, but oh wait, there's supposed to be x. 2x square minus 3 sine x plus 1 is equal to 0. Something like this.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah, Jalina.
Sorry, Zoom kicked me out.
It's okay, it's okay. It's just that 11 divided by 6 is 1 point something, right?
Yes, it is. I saw that.
Yeah, which is less than 2 pi, so it will belong to the answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay, Jalina. No problem. Yeah. So you have 2 sine square theta minus this plus 1 is equal to 0. This looks like a quadratic formula. How you're gonna do it is just assume. Okay, let's assume sine theta as x. Note, we are assuming ourselves. Okay, so what does it become? It becomes 2x square minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now we know how to find the value of x using the quadratic formula. Use a quadratic formula. X is equal to minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac over 2a. Your a will be 2, your b will be negative 3, your c will be 1. Anyone who does not know how to use quadratic formula? Okay, so you get negative of negative 3 plus minus negative 3 square minus 4, a is 2 and c is 1 over 2 times 2. You get 3 plus minus 9 minus 8 over 4, which is equal to, you get 3 plus minus 1 over 4. When you will solve, you will get x value as 1 and x value as 1/2. These are the two values you're gonna get. Note, but in my question there was nothing as x. My x, I assumed myself as sine theta. So I'm going to plug in back. I get sine theta as 1 and sine theta as 1/2. Any problem, anyone so far? Okay. Since I got these two values, okay. Carly?
Yes.
Okay. Sine theta 1, that means positive. Which quadrants is sine positive?
The first and the second.
Okay. Let's see first and second. Where is sine theta 1 in first and second?
Pi over 2.
Pi over 2, correct. So I get theta is equal to, my first answer I'm getting is theta is equal to pi over 2. 1/2. Where is sine 1/2?
Pi over 6.
And?
5 pi over 6.
Okay, you're saying pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6. Will I add 2k pi in this case, Carly?
No, because it's all in the...
Just theta. There is nothing as 2 theta or theta plus something. It's simply just theta. So this, and since they were asking in 0 to 2 pi, this is my final answer.
Okay.
Pi by 2, pi by 6 and 5 pi by 6. Good. Yeah. Any questions, anyone? Okay. Let's do one more problem here. So you are given 3 cosine theta plus 3 is equal to 2 sine square theta. And you're given 0 less than equal to theta less than 2 pi. You're given this thing. In this case, you're like, okay, now we cannot use quadratic formula. We cannot use quadratic formula. The only reason is, in previous one, everything was sine theta. But here I have cosine, I have sine also. But what we can do is, we can convert this thing into cosine. We can convert sine square into cosine. If you remember, we did the formula cosine square theta plus sine square theta is equal to 1. We know this formula. We did this already. Is Nick here? No, Nick is not here. And Mondai? Alejandro is Jose.
Hello?
Hello, yeah. So I have cosine square theta plus sine square theta is equal to 1. I know this formula. So from this, what do I get as sine square theta is equal to what?
Sine squared theta.
I need to substitute the value of sine square theta. What's my sine square theta from this formula? I just need this.
The 2?
It will be, I just need to substitute the value of sine square theta here. What does it become? I know this formula. From this formula, what do I get? Sine square theta equal to what? I just need sine square theta. Take everything else on the other side.
My bad, you lost me.
Okay, see here. So you have cosine square theta plus sine square theta is equal to 1. Okay. I need just sine square theta. What's extra here is cosine square theta. How do I take cosine square theta on the other side?
You can do the inverse.
No, you subtract. It's adding,
Oh, yeah.
right? So you get sine square theta is equal to 1 minus cosine square theta. Do you get it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Once you got this, I'm going to plug it in the formula here because I need everything in cosine. I get
Wait, isn't the original question telling? It doesn't say it has a square on the cosine.
yes, it has a square on the cosine. Yes.
No, but it doesn't have one because it's right on top. Because there's no cosine squared theta, or if it did, then we would get the answer for cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta equals 1, but we can't.
Yeah, we cannot. We cannot do it just because there is just sine square, right? There is no cosine square. But the thing is, I can use this formula to convert everything. If I have everything in cosine, then only I can find the value of cosine theta. As we did in previous example. If you see the previous example here, this was also sine theta, this was also sine theta. Then only we could use the quadratic formula. But in this example, one is cosine theta and one is sine theta. I cannot do anything. I cannot solve this unless both of them are the same thing. Either I convert this into sine theta or I convert this into cosine theta. This thing is tough to convert into sine theta because I don't have any formula of cosine theta is equal to something as sine theta. But in this case, sine square theta, I can convert this into cosine theta square theta by using this formula. I know there is a relation between cosine and sine using this formula. So using this formula, I found the value of sine square theta, which is 1 minus cosine square theta. Wherever I will see sine square theta, I will substitute this formula here. So here it was sine square theta, I substitute this whole thing. Any problem so far? Why I'm doing it? Eduardo, you got it?
Sorta.
These will come with, actually the next chapter is all about substituting and doing problems. You'll see. Right now
Yeah,
it's just
I understand the substitution for the previous one, but it's just that it's this one I'm getting confused on.
yes, maybe we'll do more problems. You'll get it on this one. You'll see why. You will see why what we are doing in this case. Let's solve this. Maybe if you don't understand, then I'll try to explain in different way. Let's solve this. So this was just a word. Okay. You get 3 cosine theta plus 3 is equal to, when you open the bracket, it becomes 2 minus 2 cosine square theta. Let's take everything on one side. I add 2 cosine square theta. I add 2 cosine square theta. You get 2 cosine square theta plus 3 cosine theta plus 3 is equal to 2. I subtract to both sides. You get 3 cosine square theta plus 3 cosine theta plus 1 is equal to 0. Now everything is in cosine. That was the purpose of doing it. Yeah.
And then you can use it for the quadratic because they're
Exactly.
both same cosine.
Exactly. Exactly the same way we did the previous question now. Once you reached here, that was the purpose of doing it, because I don't know how to solve this problem if we have two variables. One is cosine and one is sine. But if they are the same thing, maybe I can use quadratic formula in the future. That's why we
What?
convert. Yeah.
My bad.
No, Jose.
I
Yeah.
was gonna ask what was the property called again?
This thing.
The cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta equals 1. What was that called again?
These are just properties of trigonometry. They are known as properties of trigonometry. So when we solve this, when you will solve this, you will get cosine theta the way we did before. You will get your cosine theta as -1/2 and cosine theta as -1. Using quadratic formula. I'm not using it, guys. Make sure you use the quadratic formula. But you will get these two answers. And won't I here? No? Daniel?
I'm here.
Yeah. Cosine negative. Which quadrant is cosine negative?
Cosine negative. Let me see. So cosine negative will be quadrant. I don't know if I'm right. I believe since in quadrant.
Remember, all students take calculus.
Yeah, so it will be.
Here everything is positive. Here S, right? That means sine is positive. Here
Yeah.
T, tangent is positive. Here cosine is positive. Where is cosine negative?
So I believe that it's in quadrant 3.
3 and
4.
see 4. C is there, right? Calculus. So it's positive here. Here it's sine, right? Sine. Here only sine is positive. Nothing else is positive. So it is second and third. Now I need to -1/2. For what value is it -1/2? Just look at these two quadrants and tell me where it's -1/2.
We're looking at cosine, ¿verdad?
Yes,
Am
cosine.
I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so cosine for -1/2 will be 2 pi over 3.
Okay, and
4 pi over 3.
okay. I'm also looking for cosine theta as -1.
So it will be pi.
Yes, pi. Yes. So basically, these are my 3 answers. In this case, I will not be adding 2k pi. The reason is since it is just cosine theta. It is not 2 theta, 3 theta. My theta is just theta. So I don't have to add 2k pi. And my domain was 0 to less than equal to 0 to 2 pi. Any questions, anyone? I want everyone to try this problem themselves. I want you to solve for theta and you're given cosine square theta plus sine theta is equal to 2. And the angle should be between 0 to 2 pi. Anyone who wants to do this problem with me? Is having trouble, can work out with me. I can help you out.
I'll try it.
Sure, perfect. Let's do it.
A little confused, but I'll try it.
That's okay. Yeah, see, you learn like that. Yeah.
So we have cosine squared theta plus sine theta plus 2.
Yes.
So would we subtract sine theta to both sides?
So see here, we have two functions, cosine also and sine also, right?
Yes.
I want everything in one thing. Either I want everything to be sine or I want everything to be cosine.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, can I convert this thing into sine?
No.
See, Jelena, I tell you, I have few properties I'm gonna write here, and you tell me, okay, the properties we learned. First property we learned was cosine square theta plus sine square theta is equal to 1. Other property we learned is tangent square theta plus 1 is equal to secant square theta. Then we learned cotangent square theta plus 1 is equal to cosecant square theta. These are the three properties we have done so far. Okay. Okay. Do you see anywhere cosine square theta in any of these three formulas?
Yes. In the first one.
In the first one. Can you find the value of cosine, just the cosine square theta? So you are saying you're going to use the first one. Cosine square theta plus sine square theta is equal to 1. What's the value of cosine square theta only? I just want cosine square theta, so I'll take everything else on the other side. So what do I do?
Okay. So because sine squared theta equals then it would be 1 minus sine squared theta.
Exactly. You knew this formula, from there you found that cosine square theta is equal to 1 minus sine square theta. You found yourself. Now I will put this value here. Okay. So in place of cosine square theta, I am going to write 1 minus sine square theta. Okay. Now everything is in sine, right? I can
Yes.
solve. But before solving, I need to take everything on one side, right? So what do I do? How do I take this 2 here?
You would subtract it.
Yes, you will subtract it.
So it would become -1 minus sine squared theta.
And then minus or plus sine theta, right? Is equal to 0. Now since now it looks like a quadratic function, right?
Yes.
So what's my a?
A would be -1.
Yeah, and b would be
-1 also.
see here. A is next to the square one, the square, right?
Yes.
So in front of the square is negative, so that means -1. B is just in front of sine, just sine. And C is the constant.
So
See, it's always like ax square plus bx plus c. It's like this, right? A is
so would it be -1 1 -1?
Yes, exactly. Are you getting it? Because the formula is like this.
Yes, I get it.
Yeah, good. Now let's put in the formula. You get x is equal to -1 plus minus 1 square minus 4ac over 2a. You get this thing here. Solve and tell me what you get. Let's solve here. You get not x, it's sine theta. There is no x, so you get sine theta. So you get sine theta is equal to -1 plus minus square root of 1 minus 4 over -2. You get -1 square plus minus square root of -3 over -2. Jalina, square root of negative number. What happens?
It's undefined.
Undefined. So there is no answer in this case. Undefined directly. There is no sine theta you can find which will satisfy this equation. You can find no value of theta which will satisfy this equation. So that's your answer. Good, Jalina. Really good. Any questions, anyone? I want you to make note of this thing. I mean, I'll be doing this tomorrow, and I want you to write all these properties. So basically, we learned is sine theta is basically equal to 1 over cosecant theta. Also, we learned as, or you can say, cosecant theta is 1 over sine theta. They are opposite of each other. Similarly, cosine and secant are opposite of each other. So if you have secant theta is equal to 1 over cosine theta. Okay. Next thing is you want to write is tangent theta. Tangent is what? Y over x. So basically it is y is sine and x is cosine. And similarly cotangent theta is cosine theta over sine theta. Also tangent and cotangent are opposite of each other. I can write it this way. You know all of these properties. I'm just rewriting these properties here. Okay, another thing we did is we know sine square theta plus cosine square theta is equal to 1. Tangent square theta plus 1 is equal to secant square theta. And also we did cotangent square theta plus 1 is equal to cosecant square theta. These things you should know by, you should really know these things by yourself. And another thing we did is sine of negative theta is equal to negative sine theta. So if sine is like that, cosecant will also be the same. Okay. Similarly for tangent, the negative comes out. For cotangent also, so if you have cotangent of negative theta, the negative will come out. But case of cos and secant, the negative does not come out. It just changes into positive. In case of cosine and tangent, the negative comes out. But in case of cosine, the negative does not come out. It just changes into positive. These are the properties we did so far. We have done all these properties. I want to do a question with you. Okay, the question says simplify cotangent theta over cosecant theta by writing each function in terms of sine and cosine. So I am given cotangent theta over cosecant theta. They want me to write this in the form of sine and cosine only. They want me to convert this whole thing into sine and cosine. And want that?
Yes.
Okay. What is cotangent theta? I want in the form of sine and cosine.
It's oh shoot. It's cosine divided by sine.
Exactly. Okay. Divided whole thing divided.
Yeah, divided by. Sorry.
What is cosecant?
It is 1 divided by sine.
Okay. Too many division signs. If you are comfortable, if you know how to solve this, solve that way. But if you see too many division signs, basically I'm going to write the numerator separately divided by the denominator. I do it like this. I like to write it like this. If you know how to divide in one go, you can do it. Otherwise, you can write it like this. And how do I solve this in one day?
So it would be cosine divided by sine times sine divided by 1.
Okay, when you multiply, what do you
That
get?
would be, then I cross out
Sine.
the sin-like terms. So it would be 1 cosine
Yeah, 1.
theta.
Yeah. Divided by?
Oh. Divided by 1. Oh.
So basically
Oh.
just cosine theta. That's it. So that's your final answer. Basically, this whole thing is basically just cosine theta. They mean the same thing. Whether you use this thing or this thing is the same thing. So basically, tomorrow what we're gonna do is you're gonna convert everything. I mean, you should know how to convert, use these formulas here. Let's do one more example. We still have time. Let's do one more example. So it says here, you have to show that. We need to show that cosine theta over 1 plus sine theta is equal to 1 minus sine theta over cosine theta. It says by multiplying numerator and denominator by 1 minus sine theta. They say show that this is, now you're given what your final answer, but you have to show it. How do you do it is, let's take the left hand side. I will just take the left hand side and I will show it is equal to the right hand side. It's up to me. So my left hand side is cosine theta over 1 plus sine theta. They say multiply and divide the denominator by 1 minus sine theta. And multiplied and divided by 1 minus sine theta. Okay. Let's solve. So you get cosine theta 1 minus sine theta over. Let's open this bracket here. Let's open this bracket. If you guys remember, this is a formula, a plus b, a minus b. Anyone remembers it is equal to what? Anyone? A plus b, a minus b. It is equal to, we have done
Is a squared minus b squared.
Exactly, you're correct. It becomes a square minus b square. Remember this formula, we will be using it a lot. Whenever you see something like 1 plus something and in the other bracket you have 1 minus the same thing. So basically the sign of one term is changing. It becomes a square minus b square. In this case your a is 1 minus and your b was sine. You get this thing. So it becomes cosine theta 1 minus sine theta over 1 minus sine square theta. And can anyone tell me what is 1 minus sine square theta? Sine square.
Negative sine squared.
See, 1 minus sine. These are the formulas here you have.
Oh,
Where do you
1.
see sine square theta? Wherever in these formulas you know here, where do you see sine square theta?
Oh, sine squared plus cosine squared.
Here in this formula you see the sine square. So from there you try to convert here. See, you have 1 minus sine square theta. Can you see what is 1 minus sine square theta using this formula?
One minus sine squared. 1 squared.
So you have here, so you have the formula here is sine square theta plus cosine square theta is equal to 1, right? I need is 1 minus sine square theta. So I subtract sine square theta both sides. They cancel, you're left with cos square theta. So basically 1 minus sine square theta is cosine square theta. So it becomes this thing over cosine square theta. Anyone who didn't understand how I got this cosine square theta here? I'm basically using the formulas which are given to me here. I'm using these formulas and trying to find a value. This was the only formula which had sine square theta. But what did I need? 1 minus sine square theta. So what I did is I subtracted sine square theta both sides. So what do I get? 1 minus sine square theta as cosine square theta. And I substituted the value. And what happens in this case is 1 cosine square theta basically means cosine square theta, cosine theta times cosine theta. One of them cancels with each other. You're left with 1 minus sine theta over cosine theta. And that's what you had to prove. See, that's your right hand side. That is equal to your right hand side. So basically you started with your left hand side, you solved and you reached your right hand side. Tomorrow we'll be doing all this. So basically you'll be using the same way we did this problem, the same way you'll be using these properties we learned, and you'll be solving more problems like that. Any questions, anyone in today's lecture?
No.
I'm gonna stop here, and if you have questions, please stay back. I can always answer. And see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, guys. I have your attendance. Thanks, guys. If you have questions, stay back.
Bye, Miss K. Have a great day.
You too. Have a great day. Take care, guys.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
What do you have planned for the rest of the week?
For the rest of the week, the thing is, I'm going too slow with this chapter. I don't think so I'll be able to finish by this week, this chapter.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Yeah, you'll have your test and exam maybe, not this week, but next week, for sure. Of 6th and
Thank
7th
you.
chapter, yes. Okay, Jose. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, Kevin. Bye. Yes, Joshua.
Hey, I want to make sure. So we were marked for attendance.
Oh, let me check. Joshua. No. Oh yeah, I marked you absent. Wherever you are, I called your name. You were not there.
Yeah, I joined in a little late.
Okay. Did you understand the lecture today or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like it's early.
I'll upload my video. Okay.